Imagine this for a second. You're 1,000 miles away from the frozen north. You're deep in the heart of golden Constantinople. And right there, standing guard for the Byzantine emperor himself. Not your usual palace guards. No, these are Norsemen. Vikings, the most feared, the most respected mercenaries in, well, pretty much the entire medieval world. The legendary Varangian Guard. They were known for just brutal efficiency. They're big axes, And this almost like mythical loyalty, a really unique force. But on the battlefield, their most terrifying symbol, it wasn't a weapon, it wasn't a shield, it was a banner, a fearsome dragon head standard, and it has just utterly vanished from history. So what was it really for? Was it like a sacred talisman, a war totem, maybe some kind of secret code from way back north that we've just lost?
And that's what we're diving deep into today. We're going to try and unravel the lost meaning of this Varangian dragon. It's a really fascinating connection when you think about it, between the huge reach of Viking exploration, their ambition, and the sophisticated heart of the East. It really bridged two incredibly different worlds.
It's just a staggering thought, isn't it? The Varangian Guard, they were so much more than just, mercenaries for hire. It was a huge phenomenon, really defined an era of the Viking Age. They were mostly Norsemen, like we said, but later even Anglo-Saxons joined up. And they had this incredibly privileged role, the emperor's personal bodyguard. Can you even imagine the wealth, the prestige, serving the most powerful ruler of his day? Their reputation, their fierce reputation, it echoed across the whole empire.
Yeah, and it's striking when you consider the profound cultural exchange happening right there in Constantinople. You've got the pagan north meeting the Christian east. And just the journey itself, getting there, it was such a powerful testament to the scale of Viking exploration and ambition. Their world just got so much bigger.
It's an amazing cultural bridge. Yeah, absolutely. Yet, for all their fame, and the Byzantines kept pretty good records, right? One really crucial part of their terrifying identity, it's still stubbornly wrapped in mystery. And their ferocity in battle was, wow, legendary. Byzantine chroniclers, Empire's own historians, they wrote about the Guard all the time, their terrifying presence, describing them as a wall of steel that could just break any enemy line. But here's where it gets really interesting. These same writers, they mention their unique battle standard, a drakon. Now, this wasn't just like a flag on a pole. It was this elaborate standard. It had a hollow, menacing dragon head right at the top, specifically designed, they said, to whistle in the wind, to terrify the enemy.
Which raises a really important question, doesn't it? Despite that incredibly specific description, no physical example has ever been found, not one. So why? Why did this elite Norse unit adopt such a symbol? And could it have held some deeper meaning, maybe something spiritual beyond just, practical psychological warfare?
Okay, so theory one, the big one. A direct link to Norse mythology. Maybe Jörmungandr, the Midgard serpent, right? That massive snake encircling the world. But isn't there a danger there? Are we just projecting Norse myths onto everything Viking? Would the Byzantines even get that specific symbolism? Or would they just see, a dragon?
That's a fantastic point, a crucial one, actually. And I think that's where the nuance really comes in. Because while the Byzantines might just see a scary dragon, for the Norsemen actually carrying it, it absolutely could have been Jörmungandr. The beauty is, those interpretations aren't mutually exclusive. They can both be true, which makes the theory so rich. For those Viking warriors carrying a banner representing the Midgard serpent, that could have been a really potent way to invoke the destructive power of chaos, symbolizing their own unstoppable force on the battlefield. It connects their current fight directly to their ancient myths and beliefs. And you have to think about those amazing Viking longships, right? Cutting through the water, a dragon's head snarling from the prow. That wasn't just decoration on a boat. It was a psychological weapon itself, declaring who was coming before they even landed. So a banner like that on land, it would carry that same ancient primal power.
Okay, so it connects back to their deepest myths. That makes sense. But if it wasn't the world serpent, could the banner's power come somewhere, maybe more visceral, more human? Which brings us to theory two. This idea of a connection to specific Norse warrior cults. We hear about them in the Sagas, don't we? The Berserkers, the Bear Warriors, and the Ylhednir, the Wolf Warriors, guys who fought in this terrifying trance-like fury.
It's completely possible. The dragon could easily have been the totem animal for a similar kind of specialized cult. Or maybe just a symbol of the spiritual power they believed they could tap into. In that context, the banner, its purpose could have been to help invoke that battle trance state, creating this profound psychological effect on both the warrior holding it and the enemy facing it. Imagine the sheer terror that would inspire. This makes the banner almost a physical manifestation of their belief that they weren't just men anymore, but conduits for immense animalistic power. So this theory, it really connects the banner to the more esoteric side of Viking culture, the ritualistic side, suggesting it was as much a religious artifact, maybe even magical, as it was a military standard. It's all of the warrior spirit, channeled through that terrifying symbol.
A kind of ritual object to unleash fury. That's intense.
Yeah.
But okay, what if it wasn't purely Norse at all? What if the scary standard was actually maybe a product of cultural exchange, a fusion? East meets North. I mean, the Byzantine Empire, they had their own tradition of dragon standards, didn't they? Also called drakens, which came down from, what, ancient Roman military standards?
That's another really intriguing possibility. Yeah. Maybe the Viking warriors just adopted this symbol that was already familiar in Byzantium and simply gave it their own distinct Norse twist. They sort of took the visual language of the empire they were serving and fused it with their own aesthetics, their own beliefs, creating a banner that was, well, a perfect hybrid of both worlds.
A hybrid symbol. So what does that kind of cultural fusion really tell us? It suggests the banner was maybe a powerful statement about their dual identity, right? They were loyal servants of the emperor, but also proud Norsemen. It really symbolized their unique position, didn't it? This fusion of two completely different worlds. So ultimately, it wasn't just for show. It was a declaration, a potent one, about their unique place in the world. It meant they could navigate, even dominate, in two vastly different spheres. They could speak their ancient Norse tongue, but also the visual language of the empire. That's a real masterclass in adaptation when you think about it.
Absolutely. And without actually finding one of these banners, one of the physical objects, we might never know for certain which of these layers of meaning was the most important to them, or if it was all of them at once.
Yeah. The mystery of the Varangian Guard's dragon banner. It really lingers, doesn't it? It's not just about a missing artifact. It feels like a profound window into the warrior psyche back then. How they managed to weave together ancient beliefs, brutal combat, and these new allegiances, all into the single terrifying identity. Its absence, the fact that it's gone, it kind of forces us to think about the true nature of their power and about that incredible journey these Viking warriors took. From the frozen north all the way to golden Constantinople, carrying their traditions and their dragons with them, and leaving behind this legacy that, well, clearly still captivates us today. So what do you think? What did the Varangian Guard's banner truly mean? Was it Jörmungandr, a tool for warrior rage, or this potent blend of cultures, maybe something else entirely? We'd honestly love to know your theories, and if you were intrigued by this deep dive and you want to explore more authentic history, more ancient legends, make sure you follow the deep dive wherever you get your listening done. We promise we'll keep unpacking fascinating mysteries just like this one for you.